What's up everyone, Scott the TroutHammer here, and I've got a score to settle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this right here. I need to sit down. That was a double-digit fish. So I am back where I lost what was potentially biggest bass of my life, going for said bass again. And only brought 2 rigs with me today. Today we're rolling with Topwater, so starting off with a frog. Big jig, going with a punching jig, going with one that's 3/4 of an ounce because we got some heavier cover here than last time I used a jig like this. Before we get too far into the video, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there and notify bell next to it so you're gonna be the first to see all the great content that's gonna come from this channel. Speaking of which, gotta give a big thank you to all these names scrolling up to my right here. This is my way of giving shout outs now to all the new subscribers during the week. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really can't do this without you guys. A lot this week, pretty good week. Now I haven't seen any activity since I've been here, but then again, I am here pretty early. And we have got some serious, no joke thunderstorms just on the other side of the mountains right now. But all right, let's get to frogging, let's get to punching, let's get to bassing. Yep, you saw me. There you go, guys. That's a fish. There you go, guys. That's unreal. Oh, this is such an awesome looking fish. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, check that out. All right, we got our first clue. Something over here. Oh, swing and a miss. There we go. Oh, man. That sucked. I probably should have swung just a little bit harder on that hook set. Wow. What sucks about topwater fishing, frog fishing in particular, is when you get to a point where you're almost like 3/4 of the way done with your retrieve, you're already looking for fish activity on the surface. You're scanning the surface, trying to plan your next cast, and a lot of times at that time you get struck as soon as you look away from your frog. I've already had a handful of takedowns. I know it's not the hooks. These hooks are pretty well exposed. I already set these hooks to kill. And you have things like that where they seem to strike where the frog is headed, not where the frog is at. That time, I've got ya. And this is why we use 50-pound braid and big stout rods when frog fishing, because a lot of times you're pulling up as much grass as bass. Yeah, he had both hooks in him. He was going nowhere. Yeah, you're only about 1.5 pounds. I find it a little hard to believe that you're the one that's been making all that ruckus over there. All this work for one fish, but you'll still get a sniff. Oh, yes. All right, let's see if I was just way earlier than I thought I was, and the bite is just now beginning. Oh, no. Not like this. Please go that way. Please go that way. Thank you. And that is why. Oh, look at all that crap I just avoided. Yeah, that 1.5, 2 pounder. I've seen something a lot bigger feeding over here. That was a bluegill. That was a bluegill going for my frog. There's that bluegill again. So there was one video I was trying to work on that I was going to a bunch of different locations trying to catch smallmouth bass. I didn't get enough footage. I'll just show you a couple of catches here. Got him. Not that time. Yeah, little dude. Angry little guy. He won't stop biting. There we go. Another little guy. Ooh, acrobat. So I was right. Small pocket of fish about this size going for the wacky rig. Little 3-inch Senko. Figure at least that way I can guarantee more than one fish catch shown in this video. Man, this has already been a weird night. Nowhere near the amount of activity I normally see. I think all the times I got struck were a really small fish. I don't think my big fish I'm going for is out and about tonight, which with big fish in the summer probably means they already had that one big calorie meal for the day and they're just hiding out for the rest of the night. But I've only got about 15 minutes left of visible daylight, so if I'm gonna catch something else, it's gotta be soon. There we go. There's at least another fish. Oh, slightly bigger than the last one. Sunset heart hands. How about sunset fish hands? Here we go. Nice, almost a 2-pounder. Sunset fish, sunset sniff. Oh, that's kind of romantic. All right, go get bigger. All right, try fishing for just a few more minutes. See if I can get one more sunset sniff. Well, suddenly the bluegill are starting to get a lot more active. Yep. All right, a 3-fish day. You're going nowhere. Yeah, about the same size as the first one I caught. This frog is definitely getting the job done. He had both prongs in him. Sunset sniff number 2. Ah, just as sweet as the original. Well, now I am in absolutely experimental territory. I've never run this camera at 30 frames a second before, and it should increase the amount of light exposure because the shutter frame is slower, so better for filming in these low light conditions, but I just don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see. Guess I'll figure that out once I get to editing this. My legs are on fire. I just got done camping for 4 days, and being here, which is just Mosquito City, my legs are just burning up right now. And it's getting really freaking dark. Hard to film in this, but the fishing just got hot. And as I said at the top of the video, I've still got a score to settle. Getting to a point where I'm not gonna see the blow up, I'm just gonna hear it and feel it. Like that. I didn't see the blow up, I just felt it. Thank you. Get some of that hydril off you. Oh, this is a good fish. Oh yeah. That's big fish of the night. It's a good 3-pounder. Oh man, look, you wanted that frog. Perform surgery to get this out. There we go. Well, try to get as much of this big girl in the light as you guys can see. Get my 3rd sunset sniff. Oh, you smell the best out of all of them. All right, we're gonna torpedo you in, all right? Kaboom! Can't see, but don't want to stop fishing. I tell you what, guys, I needed this. After the kind of month I've had fishing, I needed a good trip like this. All right, thinking this is gonna be last cast because it's getting to a point where I'm not gonna be able to see my way out of here. And that, folks, is exactly what the doctor ordered. It's actually been a long time since I've done an outro this way. But no, seriously, like I said in this video, the number of failed trips I've had in the last month has just been driving me insane. So the 2 smallmouth bass catches that I showed in this video, that was from 2 weeks of me going out and trying to film fishing different spots for smallmouth bass and only catching them on the first day. It seems like the fish just take the weekends off, the only time I had available to fish. I also wanted to do the steelhead video, like I said, during my family reunion. That didn't work out so well. Tried doing the crawdad catch and cook during the family reunion. That definitely didn't work out very well because the water was way too low. Figure I should just hunker down and go to a spot where I know the fish are biting. And bite they did. I have actually never had that good of a fishing day with just a frog. Started out fishing the jig I showed, but nothing really came of that, so no reason to show anything. But I've made a habit over the last couple of days, thanks to camping, of going to bed around 11, and I think I'd like to keep that trend going. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to tell me what you thought down in the comments below. Of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, notify bell next to it, so you're going to be the first to see all the great content that's going to come from this channel. Other than that, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for joining me on this, ended up being an awesome fishing trip, and as always, tips up, tight lines, and have fun fishing.